There is a moment in life that no one prepares you for. A moment when you realize the life you planned is no longer possible. Not because you failed once, not because you were lazy, but because something broke. A relationship ended, a business collapsed, a job disappeared. A dream you carried for years suddenly felt embarrassing to believe in. In that moment, people don't just lose things, they lose identity. You don't just say you lost a job, you quietly think you lost who you were. Starting over doesn't begin with hope. It begins with grief. Grief for the version of you that tried. Grief for the years you invested. Grief for the future you rehearsed in your head 1,000 times. Psychologists describe this as identity disruption, when your sense of self collapses because the structure supporting it is gone. That is why starting over feels so heavy. It is not the work that scares you. It is the question of who you are now. Here is a fact most people are never told. Your brain is wired to avoid starting over. Neurologically, the brain prefers familiarity, even painful familiarity, over uncertainty. That is why people stay in toxic relationships, remain in jobs they hate, and cling to versions of life that are clearly over. Starting over forces the brain to rebuild predictability. Studies in behavioral psychology show that uncertainty triggers the same stress response as physical danger. Heart rate increases. Stress hormones rise. The mind shifts into survival mode. That is why the voice inside your head asks, "What if you fail again? What if people laugh? What if this proves you are not good enough?" That voice is not weakness. It is biology. Avoiding starting over does not protect you. It slowly drains you. We have been sold the idea that successful people always knew what they were doing, that they moved in straight lines and never had to rebuild from scratch. Reality shows something very different. Many people we admire were rejected, fired, broke, doubted, or dismissed before they succeeded. What separated them was not talent or luck, but psychological resilience. The ability to tolerate discomfort long enough to build something new. Confidence is not what creates success. Success creates confidence after survival. One of the hardest parts of starting over is shame. Shame tells you that you should be further by now, that you already tried this, that people expected more from you. Research shows that shame does not motivate growth. It paralyzes it. People who see failure as identity struggle far more than those who see failure as an event. Starting over requires a shift, not that you failed, but that this version did not work. That shift changes how the brain processes possibility. There is also loneliness. When you start over, the crowd disappears. People who celebrated your success grow quiet when you rebuild. Friends do not know what to say. Family worries instead of believing. This happens because uncertainty makes people uncomfortable. It reminds them of their own fears. Reinvention often happens alone. Just like foundations are laid underground before buildings rise, rebuilding happens quietly. Silence is not proof that you are failing. It is proof that something real is happening. Starting over does not look dramatic. It looks repetitive and unimpressive. It looks like applying again after rejection, learning skills you never thought you would need, swallowing pride, and showing up without applause. This is delayed gratification. Most people do not lack ability. They lack patience for invisibility. Every meaningful transformation passes through a phase where effort outpaces results. Quitting here does not mean you are incapable. It means you stopped too early. Starting over is not about recreating the old life. It is about becoming someone new. Identity is shaped by repeated behavior. Every small promise you keep rewires your self-image. Confidence follows action, not the other way around. Starting again is not evidence of weakness. It is evidence of growth. There will come a quiet moment when you realize something has shifted. Not externally, but internally. Rejection hurts less. You stop explaining yourself. You stop needing approval. Growth feels less like excitement and more like calm. Once you realize you can rebuild yourself, you stop fearing loss. You become adaptable, and adaptability is the greatest advantage in an unpredictable world. Starting over teaches you that you are more than your worst season, that disappointment does not define you, that you do not need permission to change, that you can rebuild from nothing. It strips you down and shows you what cannot be taken away. Once you understand this, fear loses its grip. If you are listening this and thinking you are too late, that you wasted time, or that you do not have the energy to begin again, understand this. You are not behind. You are experienced. The pain you carry is not a weakness. It is information. Starting over does not erase your past. It uses it. If all you can do today is take one small step, take it. Not because you feel ready, but because readiness comes after movement. One day someone will hear your story and realize that if you could start again, they can too.